Today we're driving the 2022 Mazda CX-9 Signature all-wheel drive. This is the top trim. It has a 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that makes 227 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. That's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. I figured it'd be interesting to get behind the wheel of a CX-9 one last time, at least with the second generation, before the third generation is launched here in about a month or so. This might be our last chance to drive the second-gen CX-9. It is one of my favorite SUVs, one of my favorite three-row SUVs, at least. It's always been very luxurious, very well appointed, and in this signature trim, it looks quite nice. I like these white seats. We have some beautiful seat piping in this interior, nice chrome accents. I think Mazda's done a pretty good job keeping the CX-9 fresh and up to date throughout its life cycle. Let's walk you around it today. We'll show you what it looks like inside and out, take it for a drive, and give you guys some thoughts on what it's been like to live with this week. I've always thought the CX-9 isn't the best looking SUV. It's kind of got some awkward proportions, but this one looks pretty good, all things said and done. We have 20-inch wheels, kind of a little bit more upscale looking grille. This Mazda CX-9 is painted in Soul Red Crystal Metallic, which is one of Mazda's best colors in my opinion. Let's take a look at space behind that third row. These seats fold up and down quite easily, all manually operated. Got a little bit of room behind those third row seats, some more storage space underneath, and we get a temporary spare tire under there as well. Fold these down, and you've got plenty of cargo space in the back of the CX-9. Two captain's chairs there for the second row passengers, cup holders, USB ports on both sides. Some little grocery bag hangers right there. That's always a nice feature. Nice looking back seat. We have window shades, heated rear seats, rear climate control. Liking the looks of this interior. Mazda's made a couple of updates to the infotainment recently. We now get their newer UI in the CX-9, as well as a digital gauge cluster. Still, unfortunately, not a touchscreen for CarPlay. We have a center console that kind of mimics the front center console for these rear passengers. I'm very comfortable in here. This feels pretty good. No complaints. Let's see how it is getting into that third row. Everything folds forward very easily. No complaints there. Locked into a reasonable seating position for that second row passenger. I'm 5'10". I have a little bit of room back here. If I lean back, I've got maybe about an inch of headroom above my head. In a pinch, you could squeeze some adults back here, but mostly I think you're going to be fitting kids in this third row. Still, I think, a usable space. Nice. Let's take a look under the hood at this 2.5-liter turbo. Pop the engine. That's right next to the fuel cap release. This takes 87 octane. Gets about 26 miles to the gallon on the highway, 20 in the city for about a 23 mpg combined rating. Sky Active G Turbo. Nice, torquey engine, makes a good sound, takes 5W30 oil. And even with this Mazda CX-9 weighing in about 4,400 pounds, it has a decent amount of power. Gets up and goes. This will tow up to 3,500 pounds. We have a Bose audio system. You can test that at the end of the video. Nice looking high-res 360 and reverse cameras. Good nighttime resolution. Definitely an improvement from Mazda in these recent years with the CX-9. Mazda reverse cameras used to be pitiful, and I'm glad they've updated them a little bit. Parking brake button down here. Sport mode and normal mode. Those are your only two drive modes. And of course we have our trusty scroll wheel for controlling our infotainment, which I actually quite like. We had a Mazda CX-30 for about a year, and I really grew to enjoy this control interface. Even though this isn't a touchscreen, I didn't really miss it that much. Little center console with our USB connection for our phone. That's what the glove box looks like. Got a place to put our sunglasses. Nice looking LED interior lighting. Tiny little sunroof. I've always thought the Mazda CX-9's interior is a bit dark and enclosed, but with these white seats, it definitely helps brighten things up in here. To the left, we've got a camera view button, turn off lane keeping assist. We've got our off-road traction control mode, button to pop the trunk, and our parking sensors. Auto up-down windows on all four corners, and we have 2 seat memory settings right down here by the seat. All right, let's go out, take this for a drive, see how it does on the road. Steering's a little bit heavy at lower speeds. I have a nice high driving position. You can see this CX-9 has a head-up display. Initial acceleration from the CX-9 is really satisfying, really pleasing. Pretty much the case with any of Mazda's models with this 2.5 turbo. There's just a really nice amount of torque under 3,000 RPM. Pretty quiet over bumps. Lots of adjustability in the CX-9. You can even change how loud you want the turn signals. This is on the loudest setting. It's still kind of quiet. You can adjust lots of safety settings, tons of customizable features in these menus. Once you set all this up, you can kind of forget about it and enjoy your Mazda. In this signature trim, we get a heated steering wheel and heated and ventilated front seats. Really nice powertrain in the CX-9. I love how the 6-speed automatic lets you just ride out the torque from this 2.5 turbo. In first gear, there's a hint of torque steer from the front tires. Kind of a more front-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system. Handling is nice for a vehicle of this size. And like I said earlier, the power is decent, especially considering that this weighs 4,400 pounds. I think the ride quality could be a little bit softer on 18-inch wheels. These 20s can be a little bit harsher over rougher roads and potholes, but that said, it's still a very nice ride handling balance in the CX-9. The adaptive cruise control system works okay. Mazda has never really excelled with these systems, and this is pretty average, honestly. I'm sure we'll see some improvements in the new CX-9 coming here soon. There's no lane centering system, just kind of a lane keep assist that will beep or vibrate the steering wheel whenever you stray out of your lane. The steering wheel controls for our adaptive cruise are quite nice. Physical buttons that are easy to differentiate. All of my inputs here are very nice. I like the way the brake pedal feels. Firm, confidence-inspiring. Steering's a little bit on the heavy side, but you get used to it pretty quickly. I've really enjoyed just driving this CX-9 around this week, running errands with it. It's very easy to live with, very easy to get in, go, and it just feels very high quality. It feels well made. All right, let's push it around the corner here, see what it can do. A little bit of complaining from those tires, but reasonably neutral. This 2.5 turbo is a torquey motor that kind of falls off towards redline, so you'll see very often that Mazdas will shift a bit before 6,000 RPM. That's because power falls off the closer you get to that 6 grand limiter. We do have some good manual control though. Paddle shifters behind the wheel. You push through the kickdown switch, it will auto upshift. Sport mode increases shift response. It's about a half a second of turbo lag, but for the most part, I really, really like this powertrain. $80 miles an hour. Wind noise isn't too bad. Pretty quiet in here. It would be nice someday to get a hybrid option or a more fuel-efficient option from Mazda. But that said, this is such a good car to drive most of the time. I wouldn't mind paying a little bit extra for fuel. You get about 400 miles out of a full tank in the CX-9, which is decent range, and you don't have to go out and pay for premium. It's getting a little bit dark out. We have easy adjustments for our dimmer display here. We'll leave it on bright just so we can see tonight. Pretty good visibility all around too. I like these big mirrors. I can see pretty well out of the rear window too, even with that third row headrest raised up. No major blind spots in my 3/4 view either. See how this accelerates off the line. A little bit of wheel spin from those front tires. Mazda's traction control system has always been pretty liberal, giving you a little bit of wheel spin. It works very well in the winter and does a pretty nice job in daily driven scenarios. The G-vectoring control makes this car feel a little bit more nimble than it ought to be for its size. And if this off-road traction control mode is anything like the CX-5 and new CX-50, this should be pretty capable on your local trail or to the campsite. Anything shy of rock crawling shouldn't be too much of an issue for the CX-9. It has around 8 inches of ground clearance, pretty standard for most SUVs. Four-cylinder makes a pretty good noise too. Alright guys, well how can we sum up the Mazda CX-9? I think it's been a pretty good run this second generation. Bit of an underappreciated car in my opinion. Goes under the radar a little bit. It is nice that this has been out for quite a while. You can find some decently priced used examples out there. And even new, I think this is a very good buy in 2022. Starting price for the sport model is about $35,000, and it kind of works its way up from there all the way to this signature all-wheel drive trim. Looking forward to the release of the third generation Mazda CX-9. Hopefully Mazda sticks with their formula that they've kept in the new CX-30, the new CX-50. I think Mazda's done a very nice job bringing affordability and quality to the premium segment in recent years, and the CX-9 is a pretty great option still. That's going to be it for this one. Stay tuned if you want to listen to the Bose audio system test, but otherwise we'll just walk you around this one more time, and that'll be a wrap. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video. One thing I do like about the CX-9 is when you start it up, you don't get 10 annoying chimes like you do in some other Mazdas, and the parking brake doesn't default to being on every time you shut off the vehicle. Because this is a little bit older, it doesn't have any of those new annoying features like the CX-30 does. Alright, into CarPlay. Let's select our music. Gotta remember, this is not a touchscreen. We'll dim our gauge cluster here and put on pink mirrors. Bose sounds great in my opinion. It's right up there with the CX-50, the CX-30, a little bit better than the CX-5, definitely better sounding than the Miata. Yeah, they've done a good job with the CX-9 sound system. This is very, very nice. It feels about right for the price point of the Signature too. Definitely heard worse sound systems at this $50,000 price point.